welcome back to the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast. On today's show, I've got a bright and cheery one. In fact, I have Emily Moser, the Director of Corporate Giving with the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Omaha. Emily, how are you today?
I'm okay. I'm happy to be here. I really am. It's been a crazy week, but I'm happy to be here with you.
I feel that. It has been like 6 weeks wrapped into one, and then it's only Wednesday.
Exactly.
So, I love it. I'm super happy to have you guys on the show today. We connected over I almost called it the Empower Breakfast. That's not right.
Not quite.
No, it's the Omaha West Rotary.
Yeah,
is where
Rotarians.
We got
Look at us.
Fresh into it?
Yep.
How long have you been
also fresh into it.
Okay. Hey, we're going through it together then.
We really are.
I love it. Well, let's get into the show here. For us listeners and viewers at home, maybe you have been living under a rock, maybe a pineapple at the bottom of the sea. I don't know. Can you give us a little bit of an insight as to how long the Ronald McDonald's House Charities of Omaha has been servicing the Omaha area? Mm-hmm. And what is it that you particularly do?
Yes. So Ronald McDonald House Charities in Omaha has been around since 1994, is when we opened our doors here in Omaha. And we really serve children and their families. So anybody that has to travel to Omaha to receive medical treatment and care for their child qualifies to stay at the Ronald McDonald House. And we really encourage whoever family is to you to come and stay, because we think it just really allows the family to lean into healing in a way that wouldn't be possible if you've got family in different states and now you're all separated. Bring everybody with you. Let's let the community and let the house really wrap our arms around each other, and make sure that this child has the most support as possible.
I love it. And I think it's amazing what you guys do, and have been doing it for as long as I've been alive.
Okay.
So I love that this has been a long time down the road kind of thing, but now it keeps evolving and it keeps growing and helping more and more people. We're going to get into some of those numbers here down the road.
Perfect.
I'm a little curious. I like to sidestep right off the bat here and ask you directly, though, where did this passion or this drive, maybe a calling, come from to kind of find yourself in the role that you're in today?
Yeah, it's a roundabout question for me. So just like any good relationship, you find jobs through people because they know people, and it kind of just kicks off that relationship building, and there's networking involved, and all of that happened, and that's what led me to the Ronald McDonald House.
Love it.
In previous lives, I worked in marketing for a construction company. I owned my own business. I was a food broker in distribution and sales. So all of that.
I was like, food broker?
I know. Food. Yeah, exactly. So I just had a varied background, but I, after owning your own business, I was kind of ready to find something a little more permanent and solid, consistent. A little more paychecky. And because I had made good connections, somebody knew that the Ronald McDonald House was hiring, and at that point it was a volunteer and event manager position.
Gotcha.
And I'd always loved events. I had ran events in all of my previous jobs, and so I applied, and I fell in love with the mission. It's not something that I was intimately familiar with because I'd never had to use it, but it is such a special place that it just seeps into your heart and soul. And I've been there for 9 years now.
Wow. Congratulations. Coming up on 10 here.
Thank you.
Congrats on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go onto the website here again while we're talking. That website's right below where you're listening here and watching. I am a little curious. How do you help the families with reducing the financial burden, as well as, I saw this word on here, psychosocial support. I'm a little curious as to how that's implemented in there and how these families kind of just get to stay together with that, and what's the importance there?
Absolutely. So the first part is the financial burden part. So when you have a child that is all of a sudden diagnosed with something that will take you on a multi-state journey, all of a sudden you're leaving behind your job. You're leaving behind your mortgage. You're not living there. You're traveling around. You're literally traveling. You've got now medical expenses that are astronomical. You've piled up this huge amount of financial burden. And when you arrive to a place like Omaha, Nebraska, and you're from Texas, New Mexico, you're from wherever and you've never been here, you don't know what to do. And so that's where we come in and we say, come stay with us. We're a home. Let us take care of you in this way. The families are not required to pay a single cent for their time there.
Wow.
So that just eliminates the need to stay at a hotel, which can be expensive. It eliminates the need to get an Airbnb or something like that where you're just paying a lot of money for that so they can solely focus on their child getting better. We ask for a nightly donation from the families, but they are not turned away. There's no penalty if they can't pay it. The community, Omaha, Nebraska, we all come in and jump in and take care of that. So that's the first part. That's the financial burden part that we see a lot of. The second part is, yes, the psychosocial part.
Yeah.
So what we find is that when there's a sick child, there's a sick family. And so even though the patient might be in the hospitals, that mom, dad, that caregiver, the siblings, all of a sudden they're dealing with a lot of stress. There's a lot of trauma that goes into having a child that may or may not make it. You're going into major surgeries. We've had kids that have 6 organ transplants by the time they're 3 years old. And so to be able to just have time for yourself, whether that's just taking a hot shower or having a hot cup of coffee or taking 5 minutes to read, a book that you haven't touched. That type of atmosphere only can happen because we are there to help them out. Let us take on some of that burden so that you can truly take those 5 minutes to yourself so that you can be fully ready to support your family, your child, your other kids, your spouse. There's just so much trauma and emotional stress that goes into having a critically ill child. So that's where we come in and we really wrap our arms around them. We do that through just the way that we have the house set up, but also through a lot of community partnerships. So we are fantastic at hospitality, but there's other places in town that are great at expressive arts therapy. Let's bring them in. There's places that are great at equestrian therapy. Let's bring them in. Let's go take these kids to horses. Let's see if that helps them. There's just these different partnerships that we can team up with to ensure that the families have the best chance at hope and healing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Shout outs to Hetra.
Yeah,
because I know exactly what you're talking about.
We've got Horses Help in there. We've got so many different nonprofits. We work with Completely Kids a lot. They come in and help gap educational needs that we have. There's just so many awesome partners. Project Harmony is another one. So we feel lucky that we get to have this huge pool of resources. And so let's bring them all together and help these families with that.
I love it because that is such an Omaha thing that everybody comes together and supports the one thing that's going to need it at that moment. And here's the whole wave of force behind it.
100%. And not just Omaha, but truly Nebraska as a state.
Fair statement.
We're the only house in the state. So we're serving everybody. So if you're coming from a rural community 5 hours away, we've got you. We've got you.
Yeah, I love that because I think that just is kind of representatory of a beacon of hope, so to speak. So
100%.
Amazing what you're doing over at the Ronald McDonald House Charities here in Omaha. Now, I see this on your website pop up a few different times. So I wanted to ask this in a tactful way, I suppose. But why is focusing on keeping things ordinary for families such a big deal and so important?
Yeah. So when you're thrown into a lot of chaos and stress, and now you're living in a communal area, right? We're a large house. We have 40 rooms, so we have 40 families living with us. It's communal. It's cozy and wonderful and bright and supportive, but it's communal. And so keeping things as normal as possible helps you have that solid foundation so that when you're dealing with all of a sudden learning all of this medical jargon and you're trying to figure out what the next step is, maybe you have to get a second opinion. There's so many things that are happening. So let's give you the foundation of peace and just having a solid place to lay your head at night. That's what normalcy is. We partner with Capital Beauty School. They come in and provide pro bono haircuts for our families. And that's just something that you don't think about. If you're staying somewhere for 8 months because your child's in the hospital, you haven't had a haircut, you haven't had somebody just do this, give you a nice hair wash. And those things make a difference because it's just that sense of normalcy that provides you the strength to be able to go back to the hospital just one more day, and just keep fighting the battle that they are in.
No, I think that's a great, and again, shout out to all the amazing organizations that partner up with you guys to offer these services, because I know at the bottom of it, a lot of them can be businesses, and hey, businesses are businesses. They're there to make money, but the way they're able to help contribute still is phenomenal. So hats off to everybody involved with the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Omaha. Now, we promised that we'd be getting into some numbers here, so I've got to read this one off. I got to actually focus on this one. Now, I wanted to include this mostly as just a shout out for you guys because no questions here, but correct me if I am wrong, but these are all the 2024 numbers that I've got listed out here. So we'll start with this one. There was 1,398 individuals served. 439 is the number of families housed. 28 is the average length of stay. 55% of families served are from Nebraska or Iowa. I'll restate that one. 55% of families served are from Nebraska and Iowa. And the average patient age is 7. But lastly, the really, really astounding one is 10,281 lodging nights provided. Wow.
Yeah.
That's just 2024.
That's just last year.
That's incredible. So if you're ever questioning as to what it is contributing to, your guys' website is crystal clear, which is something I love. It makes my life easy when I'm doing my homework. But I also love the transparency of organizations that are just fully outright. They're like, hey, this is what we need. This is what we're doing. This is where it goes.
Absolutely.
And that's what you find when you go onto your website. So I love it, and it's super straightforward. So a little shout out for all the amazing work that you guys have done in the 2024.
Thank you.
I need my applause button. So 2025, I'm looking forward to those numbers.
Yeah.
I hope it's in a better way, kind of, because again, nonprofits are like the biggest double-edged sword.
Totally.
You have to exist because we have the need, but the ultimate goal is to not exist.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's tough, but I hope a better year at least for the Ronald McDonald for this next year here.
Yeah, the numbers are interesting. You know, we're already on track to exceed individuals and numbers.
Oh, no.
Our average length of stay is interesting because it tends to be around that 28 days year after year.
Sure.
What that doesn't account for is kind of our extremes because we do have families that stay for one night, but we have families that stay for 10 months.
Right.
So it's just a little bit off, but average,
You got your averages, right?
Yeah. And our average patient age is usually about in that 5 to 7 range. That tends to happen every year.
That was a crusher when I saw that one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Little kids.
Yeah.
Really
That's
little.
kindergarten.
Yeah.
First grade.
Yep.
So super hard to kind of see and hear that, but great that there's support for it. So
absolutely.
I am a little curious. I was digging around your guys' website. Shocker, I know. But I found something called the Tree House.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to let you just go off on this. What is it? What does it do? And what's it like when you first walk in? Because I'm a big mental visual guy.
Okay, first of all, you have to come take a tour. Will you come take a tour?
100%.
Okay, great. Let's schedule that.
Absolutely.
So in order to qualify to stay at the Ronald McDonald House, you have to live at least 35 miles away or more.
Okay.
And have a patient in one of the hospital systems here. Doesn't matter what your diagnosis is, doesn't matter your socioeconomic status, nothing that matters to us. But those, you have to kind of basically be out of town to stay at the house.
Which makes sense.
It does. However, we realized that there is a ton of local families that need support and resources.
Gotcha.
And because they can't stay with us, how else can we help them? And that's really where the Treehouse comes in.
Okay.
So the Treehouse is located in our garden level.
Mm-hmm.
It's a basement, but I hate saying basement because that sounds
garden level's great.
dingy. Okay, let's say garden level.
Garden level's great.
It's located in the garden level of the Ronald McDonald House.
Sounds very fancy.
Right?
Like it sounds like you're about to be like in a 5-star restaurant. Like you're in the garden level.
Yeah. Okay, great. So garden level. And it's set up so that local families can come utilize the entire space during the day. I know, it's shocking.
I'll just throw my pen out of shock.
So you have to show proof of same day either maternal health or pediatric appointment, and then you can come utilize the space. So we have a nutritional cafe, we've got a workout facility, we have a sleeping room, there's mini roller coasters for kids, which I may have tried out.
I was going to say, what's the size and weight restriction?
I exceed that by details.
I'm tall. I can stretch out.
We've got just play equipment. There's a little office bay where people can work remotely. There's all of these different pieces so that if you have kiddos that have appointments all day, but you just need a break from the hospital, you want your kids to burn some energy in a nice, safe, clean space, the Treehouse has your back. So you can come, you can play and have some snacks. If you've got little ones that need a nap, you can check out the sleeping room space. It's just everything that you would need for the day.
I love it.
We are also partnering with a few organizations in town to provide different classes. So like baby food making classes.
Sure. That's a great idea.
Yeah. We've got Omaha Public Library comes in and does like a story time for
Very
kids.
cool.
So it's just about bringing these different classes and resources to local families. The other part that we have in the treehouse is a really awesome office area for Option Care. They're a home health agency. And so they provide infusions for our kiddos in the house as well as community members. So we have that available for the community too.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love all that. And now just piggybacking right onto it, there's something called the trail.
Yes.
Which I feel like is attached to it because from what I'm seeing, it looks very fun for kids.
It's all fun for kids. Yes. So the reason they're paired very closely together is we open them at the same time.
Okay.
So a little bit of a long story, but we opened this expansion/renovation of the house in 2019. So we had doubled in size. COVID came along.
The wonderful world of.
Who knew that would shake things up as much as it did? So, but then we had the space in our garden level, and we ended up coming up with a tree house. And so the tree house and the trail were opened in 2022, I believe. So the trail we put in so that we could encourage families to be outside and just have that exposure to the sunlight and just have a family walk or have some playtime. So we created a trail around the Ronald McDonald house that goes into the UNMC campus a little bit. I think you have to do 6 laps to get a mile. We tested this recently, so I believe it's 6. But there's a bunch of play structures on it for the kids to explore. There's a music station, so you can make a lot of noise, which I've caught some college kids doing when they are walking back from campus, and it's very funny. I love it. There's a big community mural on there. There's some
awesome.
bubbles. There's a wildlife section that's got little paw prints of different animals. We also hid some different animals throughout. They're little like statues of like giraffes and lions and all these things so that kids can go on a safari. So they walk around and they check off the list. And we did that because in the treehouse, there's a huge section of just animals on the wall. And so it kind of ties it together. The kids get to be in a safari like atmosphere. And it's just a little playful, but also encourages some outdoor, some exercise, just a little bit of fun.
I love it. I think it's such a great idea because I'm a big outdoorsy guy myself. I grew up in the Sandhills, so it's very rural out there. You got to make your own entertainment. So
outside it is.
Yeah, outside it was. Be home by the streetlights.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. I love it. And I think that's such a great thing that I think often kind of gets overlooked for a lot of these families. They're so much in their own head that they're dealing with such a lot. Hey, why not take a break out of your room, just kind of go take a little lap and blow a little steam off, maybe just kind of mentally work stuff out as you're taking a nice walk outside. So I think it's a great solution to what happens and what these parents and children and family members have to go through.
Absolutely.
Now, of course, donations. Yeah. That is a forefront for any and all nonprofits. There's no way around that one. What's the best way to donate? Should I wait till some big event?
No. I mean, you can, but no.
No, that was my trick question for you.
The answer is yes to all of it. Yes, you can go on our website to donate. We are a local nonprofit. We are our own 501c3. We're really set up to operate to support whatever the needs are for this market and this area. So that means any money that's raised here stays here for the Ronald McDonald House. So yes, you can go on our website. You can set up that donation. Any businesses that want to get involved and do a donation, I'm happy to have those conversations and talk about really directly where this impacts and where it goes. And so our website's very clear. There's a big old donate button. And so we appreciate that.
Look at the website down below and you can see that big old donate button right there.
Click that right there.
Of course, you know, the donations are always phenomenal. What are some other ways our viewers, if they're just feeling the call to action here and they really want to come be a part of this, how can we volunteer and get involved?
Yeah, volunteering is a huge help to us. Annually, we have about 2,500 volunteers that help us. That really allows us to operate really lean. So we have a staff and they're awesome and fantastic people, but we rely on the community to help support the house. So that means every night we try and have a volunteer group come in and provide dinner for the families.
Gotcha.
It's one less thing they have to worry about. I don't want to figure out what I need for dinner tonight. I can't imagine being at the hospital for 12 hours and then being like, well,
starving.
What do you want for dinner? I don't know. What
Yeah.
do we have the groceries? Let's just take that off their plates. And the community comes in, and it can be a book club. It can be your office group. It can be a networking group. It can be anybody that wants to come together and support these families directly. It's a program called Meals That Heal, and they come in, like I said, you can schedule it for any night of the week. And serve the families a warm, nutritious meal. That's a huge help to us.
I think that's an awesome thing, especially if you have that passion for cooking anyway, and you just want to have a fun, good feeling.
Or if you don't and you want a team bonding and watch your boss like chop an onion, that's hilarious. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
You know what? I'm in on that.
Right?
I'm the cook in the office.
Okay. Well, we're going to get you signed up.
Yeah, funny enough, I'm kind of the cook in the office. So literally like my second or third day working, we were actually in a different building off of McDonald's Drive. I was actually in the break room because they ran out of space. It was so small over there.
No.
So when they hired me, they're like, we don't have a place to sit you, so you're going to be in the break room. I'm like, okay. Well, third day in, I was like, you know what? I like it here. Everybody's so nice. I'm going to bring them in some tacos. So I made like a faux birria. Yeah. So it was basically like birria tacos, and they just cooked like all day.
So fun.
Yep. Brought them in. They're like, oh my God, those are delicious. God, he tells me, well, I don't cook ever. Like,
I got you. I got you.
this.
That's great.
Yeah. So if you're ever looking to get in with people, you just give them some good food.
There's a reason that people come together for that, you know? And Meals That Heal is a great reason to do that.
I'm going to have to talk to them and get them on the show.
Yeah, let's do that.
I haven't heard of them. Well, I feel like I have heard of them, but then I've also felt like I'm crossing them with a different nonprofit in my brain.
Oh, okay. So Meals That Heal is our program, so it's just us and volunteers coming in for that program. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was thinking of
Meals on Wheels.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's a whole different program. Meals That Heal is just our program internally that we call it.
Perfect.
Yep.
So no
come
cross
in
there.
And come in and cook.
I love that. Now, of course, is there anything particular? I love asking this question for nonprofits because it's never the same answer, because donations are great. Volunteering is really wonderful, but sometimes there's certain needs that a nonprofit is just calling for.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that right now that we can kind of bring to the surface and start pushing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I mentioned, we're a 40-room home. Right now we're full, so we do have 40 families with us. What that means is whatever you need in your home, we need times 40. That means we need paper towels. That means we need laundry detergent. That means we need snacks. All of these things that are just, you go to the store and buy just one of, we need a lot of that. Right now, because we're full, we're going through a lot of those kind of gift in kind pieces.
Sure.
Our pantry is looking a little bare. And we really like to have that as full as possible so that the families have access to food as soon as they get here. Sometimes they're life flighted overnight from somewhere else. They don't have time to go to Baker's or Walmart or wherever. So to just be able to have even just mac and cheese or cereal, like a comfort bowl of cereal at 2 a.m., I'm about it. I get it.
It beats going hungry and not wanting to spend more money on going out somewhere that might be open.
So just to have those staples and any household items in the house is super beneficial to us.
Toiletries?
Yes.
Soaps of all kind, whether it's hand or body or hair, whatever.
Yep.
Essentially any commodities we could essentially use.
Yeah, we have, if you go on our website, we have a section called our wish list.
Perfect.
And there's a link to our Amazon wish list, which means you don't even have to leave whatever you're doing right now. You just click on that, and if you order it from Amazon, it gets shipped right to the Ronald McDonald house.
Love
you
that.
You don't have to do anything with us. You just send us a wish list.
Click the button and send them some surprises, maybe include a funny message in there.
Yeah, right? I read them. So yes, so anything on the wish list, anything that you need in your house. Paper towels is always a big one for us. Toilet bowl cleaner, just the non-fun things like that. Yeah. But we need it.
But I'm looking at you Costco members.
Oh,
I'm looking at us, because there's a lot of Costco things that I love Costco. Don't get me wrong.
Totally.
It is phenomenal.
Yes.
As a 2-person household, Costco is overwhelming for some of us. So in that regard, I'm sitting here going, if I bought a thing of paper towels. That lasts me months.
Okay.
Right? Like that's months of paper towels, let alone the toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's just months and months and months. But now I'm sitting there going, well, yeah, divide that by 40.
Yeah. It's like 3 days.
Yeah, that's like a week at best.
Exactly.
So no, that's super, super important. So anybody out there that is in that generous mood, giving spirit, we're coming up on that holiday. Yeah. So, you know, if you are in that mode and you really want to give back to an important part of our community, I couldn't think of a better option.
Me neither.
I love it. Now, of course, another little shout out here for you. Do not forget to go on to their website if you have not already. There is a nice little button there that says blog and the latest news right on your website there. I encourage people to go take a look. Some very good reads on there, some very great updates of just, hey, keeping the conversation to everybody. Yeah. Is kind of the best way I can describe it. It's, you know, sometimes it feels probably like you're talking to yourself in some of those, but it's important because then that just helps that conversational tone when you come and meet you guys for the first time. So I love it. It's super important. Be a friend, tell a friend, share it all about, and tell them to go check out the blogs and the news as well. Please do. I'm going to throw my pen some more today, I swear.
It's an aggressive episode.
I know. I'm just... pen can't stay in my hand for some reason. Now, of course, social media. Yeah. It is everywhere and anywhere. Sometimes it's our best friend. Well, it's this thing that somebody told me once upon a time ago that if I go on the Google of the internet machines.
Not the Google.
The Google of the internet. Then I could find the Facebook. I could find...
the word "the" in front is just fantastic.
Doesn't you age yourself by like 20 years. Yeah. Yep, so I turned 70 on the show today.
Happy birthday.
Now, of course, go follow Ronald McDonald House of Charities here in Omaha. Where specifically can we come find you?
We are on Facebook. We're super active on Facebook. We have a great Instagram page. We're trying to get into the TikTok, but I just can't figure it out. So stay tuned. But let's do Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for sure. Those are solid ones.
Those are our main platforms that we typically post to. So if you're watching it on here, hey, you're ahead of the curve.
Proud of you.
And you know what? We'll get better at the ticking of talk.
Maybe.
We allegedly have a TikTok. I have no idea.
I don't know either. I don't even have a login. I can't figure it out.
I believe one of our social media reps reached out and she's like, oh yeah, you should get some video and you should do this and this for the office and I'll make a fun TikTok out of it. I went, cool. Get on that.
Eventually.
Wasn't ignoring you, Shannon.
Shout out to Shannon.
Shout outs to Shannon for not giving up on me here. Now, events, there is a lot of them around Omaha, especially around this time of year. But I'm curious, is there anything in your guys' realm that is coming up that we can help be a part of and support?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for asking. So there's a few things. We have our last huge signature event for the year, and that is our Sporting Clays tournament. And that is next weekend, the 10th and 11th of October. And we go out to Oak Creek in Brainerd, and we do 2 days of shooting clays out there. And it's a really cool, fun event. It's very laid back. It's really great if you want to bring clients out there, just something different than a golf tournament. No shade to golf, but it's just something different. So that's our last big signature event for the year. So we're really excited about that. So there's still a few time slots available. If anybody's interested, sign up on our website. So that's our big one. Our other kind of larger event that we have every year at Baker's is our Stuff the Pantry event. And that is the weekend before Thanksgiving. I believe it's November 21, 22, 22, 23. November, the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Weekend before Thanksgiving.
Check your calendars.
Highlight it.
Yeah, we go out to Baker's on Saddle Creek and the Baker's at Pepperwood.
Okay. Sure.
Just out here. And we have volunteers stand and just ask shoppers to support our wish list. So it's got a list and we just hand them out, and shoppers, while they're doing their shopping, they grab a couple things and stuff the trucks that we have out there. And that is a huge help. So that takes care of some volunteering, that takes care of some wish list things. So if people want to help out, that is a fantastic way to do all of that.
I think that's a great way to help out too. Yeah. Now, if you caught the first event and you're like, hey, what is shooting clay?
Oh yeah.
I got you on this.
Okay, great. Do you shoot?
I ain't Sandhills kid.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We shoot everything.
Okay, great. So you're coming next weekend then, right?
I will certainly try. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So in case you don't know what it is, you are launching typically a clay disc. Now they have different variations of, but it's typically a little clay disc that gets launched into a slinger, flies up into the air.
Yes.
Gun up.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
And
it's super fun, though.
It's so fun.
And it's a lot harder than you think.
It's so hard. I've done it twice because I'm working and somebody will be like, do you want to try? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So and then for days, my shoulder, because I do it once every 3 years, I shoot something.
Get that little shoulder ache and you're like, what did I do?
Happened?
That's right.
I shot 2 shells. I'm sore for days.
Yeah.
It's a really fun, and it's beautiful out there at Oak Creek.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That Brainerd area is pretty.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah. Now, of course, that kind of wraps up a lot of the questions more so about the Ronald McDonald House of Charities. I keep calling it House of Charities. It's just Ronald McDonald House Charities of Omaha.
It's very stately with House of Charities.
House of Charities. The Ronald McDonald House of Charities of Omaha. Yes.
I think we should start over and read it only like that.
Oh, I've got to be like Sir Covington Snide. And the whole episode would be deleted.
We don't have time.
My editor would be like,
never mind.
It got deleted.
What happened?
No, but I do love to ask this, especially with my guests across the seat, because every role is different.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to kind of hear some of your answer on this one here. So for us that never get to see behind the curtain, that magical, wonderful curtain of work, what is part of the job that you just feel you wish it got the recognition it deserved, but it just goes by the wayside, and it's okay?
Oh, gosh.
Because we all have that thing.
That's so hard. I don't know. Honestly, as far as recognition goes, I don't have much that I have behind the curtain because I'm so out in the public all the time. This is my job. So this is pretty fun. For my role, I get to be meeting with businesses and organizations and people in the community all the time. And so that's really what I get to do. Sometimes really cool things come of it, and sometimes I'll never see them again. But, just if I can educate 1 or 2 more people about the house, and if I can get somebody to be as invested in it as I am, then I think it's worth it.
I agree. And you know what? It sounds like insurance. I hate to break it to you, but that sounds like insurance. Sometimes it goes great, but sometimes I'm never seeing them again. And half my job's education. So great parallel
we have so much in common.
I know. I love it. Now, of course, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. There are some really tough challenges to run through, especially in the organization that you're in.
Yeah.
There are some very tough things that I'm sure you've had to deal with and navigate. I'm kind of curious, and maybe recent light here, maybe a little post-COVID rather. What's something or a challenge or obstacle that you've either had to overcome for the organization or for the families you're serving?
Yeah, I think for the organization, it's interesting because one of our challenges is our namesake.
Sure.
People associate it with very different. The things I get are you'd be like, huh? How did you associate that? But that's okay, because then it gives me an opportunity to say, here's actually what we do. And so just making sure that's kind of a challenge that we've seen is just making sure people know, A, what we do, and B, that we're a local nonprofit. And so we're supported by the philanthropic nature of this community. So to be able to have those conversations is a great chance and opportunity, but it can be a challenge too to overcome some of that too.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Knowing some of the people I have conversations with, I can imagine. Yeah. Now, of course, corporate and business owners and all that aren't as bad, I will say, as the common folk some days. Since we're going back to our snotty British joke, the common folk.
Going back to that.
Going back to that for a little callback here. No, but I think with tough conversations, it just kind of helps sharpen up what that next one's going to look like. So I think those can be good in a sense, but they're never fun to deal with.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there are some great things that come with organizations like the one that you're part of, the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Omaha. What's been one of the best moments that you can recall that it's been able to give you personally?
Oh, there's, pick
your favorite kid, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting because we get to office inside the house, which means we get to really become a part of these families' lives, and they become part of our lives. So there's a lot of little wins that we see for us, but they're really big wins for the families. When a kiddo gets to go home because he's been cleared after his surgery, because he's cancer free or something like that. So there's a lot of moments like that that are just really impactful and stick with you for a long time. So a lot of those. I think for me also, professionally, this year I was given the opportunity to run a capital campaign for the first time. I told my bosses a few years ago that I want to be a CEO someday, and they said, you got to figure out how to run a capital campaign. So I did that this year, and I accomplished, thank you, just little claps. Where's the applause
I know,
button?
I need my applause button.
Gosh, we got to get you
I
one.
keep telling the bosses I need one.
Come on,
it's
bosses.
an important staple of the show.
It really is. So I fundraised, and we went under construction in March, and we opened a brand new backyard in the house in June this year. So that was a really big moment for me too.
Yeah,
so
congratulations. That's quite the accomplishment.
Thank you. I know. I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, my very last business question of the day here for you. What is something here you want us viewers and listeners to know either more about when it comes to the Ronald McDonald House Charities or the nonprofit industry in general?
I think for the Ronald McDonald House, just being able to support locally is so important for us. You know, we have all these collaborative partners in town, and sometimes people are like, well, you know, these families aren't from here. And it's like, well, no, but now they are.
Yeah.
Now they're ours. They're part of the Omaha community. A lot of them end up moving here because they have to for medical treatment. So like maybe their home address is Arkansas, but they're as much part of this community as you or I.
Yeah.
So to me, being able to wrap our arms around these families and these children is really important. So we are so grateful for the amount of support that we get from businesses, organizations, people, just everybody, because we feel so strongly about supporting these families. And I say, you know, for the nonprofit industry in general, we have such a robust one here. Yeah. To your point earlier, which is bittersweet. But I think, you know, I think it's a rising tide raises all ships. So to us, being able to support each other and work with each other is a really beautiful and kind of unique thing in this world. So
I agree. I don't think there's another community quite like ours that encourage networking as much as we do, encourage sharing things the way we do. It's really funny too, because I work with other insurance professionals that are captives.
Yeah.
I recommend them business because I can't do anything for the client. So here's your next, I hope this is the next best thing for you. So I understand that completely. And I think that's one of the unique, beautiful things about Omaha and our community in general. Yeah. And I say Omaha, I've had to clarify this a couple times on the show. I say Omaha, and I mean Omaha, La Vista, Papillion, Ralston, everybody that's been absorbed. The
greater, yes,
you know. But everything that is now Omaha and what it touches now, I just think is all wonderful. Like these people do so much work to give back to this amazing community. So couldn't do it without them, of course.
Are you born and raised? Are you from Omaha originally?
Okay. I'm from Taylor, Nebraska.
Oh, that's right. You're from Taylor.
So I'm from a...
What's it called?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yep. So I'm from a village.
Oh.
Like, it was 90 some people when I was growing up there. Village boy.
How many people?
Like 98, 93, something about that when I was going to school there.
Really? That's so interesting. Do you still have family there? Do you go back?
Oh, yeah. My grandma lives out there still.
She does.
She's about 8 miles outside of town.
Wow. Oh, outside of town.
Oh, yeah. There's only like 50 people that live in town. Everybody else is on the outside.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So when did you move to Omaha?
That would have been 2020. Peak time to move, right?
Yes, especially to a bigger city.
I know. I was working in radio at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I was working 7 years in the radio field in Norfolk, Nebraska.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then it kind of got to a point I needed to make a decision, and I was like, well, here's my ultimatum. And they said, it's COVID. And so we kind of just amicably parted ways, and I ended up over here.
That's cool.
The rest is history. 5 years later, I'm already... Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think of Omaha?
I love it. So I always tell people, like, when I was growing up in Taylor and in the Burwell area and all that, because they're all close together. Yeah. That, to me, so it's like a 3.5 hour drive from Taylor to get to Omaha. Okay. So Omaha was once every 3 years that we would come up usually because that was our family reunion. We'd rent out Venalist Park. And then different shirts for all members of the family.
Oh,
like we
so
have
cute.
We have color coordination. There's that many of us. You say cute. It's a zoo. It's a zoo of people. And so it was like every 3 years we got to come up and see this amazing city. And of course, being part of that was the zoo. Yeah. So it was, I've seen from when we had the polar bears to now we have the safari exhibits and stuff. I'm like, those didn't exist when I, But it's just, it's so cool to me. That's like, I remember it from a certain vantage point, so to speak, and now I see it every day in person.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun perspective that I have on it.
That's neat. I love that. I ask because I'm not from Omaha either.
Sure.
And a lot of our staff is not from Omaha. Actually, almost everybody.
Really?
So, and it's interesting because you're like, well, that's kind of weird. And it is until you look at Omaha and you look at Nebraska and it's like, we choose to live here, to raise our kids here. Like, we love this place. And so
it is a choice to live here because we live in a state where 80% of the time the air hurts our face.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, we choose to live here.
There's less than ideal conditions, but we still choose it because there's so much going for it and we all love it. And so we're advocates for this place, even though none of us are from here. But that's why I always ask, because it's like, you know, we all love this place. And you can feel that love by the way that this community gives back to its own too.
So where did you travel in from?
So I grew up a little all over the place, a lot in the East Coast. And then we lived in Northern Illinois for a long time is where I grew up.
Okay, I'm going to blow your mind.
Please do.
I lived in Watertown, New York for a year.
You did?
I did.
For 1 year.
For 1 year.
You're like, nope, I'm out.
So my mom got married to an Army guy.
Yeah, okay.
Went to Fort Drum.
Okay.
And so we were living up there, and the address is burned into my brain forever.
Tell me.
So 515 Plum Avenue. If you are ever in that area, go say hi to the old duplex that's there.
That's so funny.
I just remember it was like a less than a mile. It was like probably like, I don't know, 9-10 blocks maybe.
Yeah.
To a Stewart's gas station.
Oh my gosh.
And they made some of the best malts on the planet.
Oh, that's so cool. Don't you want to go back and see if they're just as good as you remember?
Legitimately, I do.
I know.
I'm like, there's the only one reason I'd ever go back up there, and that's for the Stewart's. I'm like, yeah, it just has to happen.
That's so funny. So I lived in Pittsford, New York for like 7 or 8 years growing up. And there is a place called Powers, and it's a farmer's market, and I can still smell it.
Yep.
And I want to go to Powers so bad again. That's so funny.
Small world after all,
memories
right?
just like stick with you. But anyway, I grew up mostly in Northern Illinois for like high school, and then I went to University of Northern Iowa, and then moved here afterwards. So I've been here 13 years-ish.
Time flies when you're in a community like this one.
But again, I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it.
I love it. Now, hey, that's our fun business questions all out of the way. So the brass tacks are done. We can let the hair down, so to speak.
Okay, finally.
Fun time. We have a box of questions.
That is intimidating.
It does seem intimidating. Every time I slide it over, I'm like, I feel like I'm intimidating people, but I shouldn't be. So friend of the show, Blake Martin with FranNet.
Shout out.
Shout outs to Blake Martin. He is a super awesome dude. He participates in the 50-mile march and is one of the... He raises a lot of money for them too.
That's awesome.
He's a wonderful human. I had him on the show and he goes, I don't know if you'll ever use these, but if you do, this could be fun for the show. So all of these ones on these side have been pulled and asked. These are the last remaining ones for new questions. The option is yours of whatever side you'd like. We'll pull 3 cards and we'll just go back and forth on
Let's do it.
after you.
One at a time?
You can pull them all 3 at once. You can pull them one at a time. I have people that'll pull them, put them upside down, and then flip them.
It's like Cards Against Humanity.
Kind of. So if you do get a bad question, there are some of those in there. So if you do get a bad question, not like obscene.
It's that kind of show.
Not an obscene question, but some of them are just like, if you were a color, what would you be? It's like, what?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Purple because the sky's orange.
So helpful. Okay. In which activity would you like a lesson from an expert?
Ooh. Activity that I would like a lesson from an expert. I think... Gosh, that's a tough one for me because a lot of my like hobbies and activities that I used to do, I don't know. Some of them I can't quite do anymore because I'm breaking down in age.
Okay, let's calm down on that.
Hey,
we all know how old you are now.
I know, but I grew up doing roofing and construction, so that ages you like 50 years. So I'm like an 85-year-old trapped in a 31-year-old
Between that
body.
and saying the Google, you've just like... Yeah.
I'm full circle, old man. I think in that question, I would either go like guitar lesson.
Oh.
Or I would go something back with the arts, maybe something like with more intricacy, like clay sculpting, maybe something more to do with that or
Yeah.
further into that because I already kind of know what to do with a lot of that.
Cool.
So, yeah, how about yourself?
Great. My brain went two places. One, I also love to cook and bake. Luckily,
I missed that one. Yeah.
my aunt is a pro baker, so I'm good there. But I would love a solid Italian cooking lesson from a nonna in Italy. Let's do that.
That would be pretty sweet.
Right?
Make your own pasta, make your own sauce. From
everything. Two, I went like the most opposite thing for some reason. I want like a fencing lesson, like something I know nothing about.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about. Let's just do fencing. I don't know, something so weird.
Yeah, those medieval guys.
I don't know anything about that. I want to do that. Not really, but that's fine.
I'd be in for it. That sounds fun.
All right, which country did your family come from?
America? I think you can pull a new question on that one because if we're talking my ancient
like
relatives,
heritage,
I guess. Let's pull a new question on that one. That one's a bad question.
All right, fine. What was the best vacation you ever took?
This is gonna make me sound pretty sad.
Oh.
I have not really ever taken a true quote unquote vacation.
Okay.
Most of my time off is like, little staycations or I'm running back home to go work or help somebody. And I hate to say this too, because this is kind of the downer of the show, but most of my vacations and my time off are for funerals. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And I know that that's kind of a disservice to myself.
Yeah.
But
what would a dream vacation be then?
Dream vacation for me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough because ideally I'd love to go like through a route of like Italy down to Greece. Mm-hmm. Or on the flip side of that, throw me on an island somewhere in the middle of the ocean, like Bora Bora or Fiji, and fine.
I want to stay in one of those huts above the ocean that like float, and you just roll out of bed and you look. Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? That's fine with me.
It's the dream.
It's fine.
Totally.
I can see in the water there.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. How about you on that one?
Best vacation, probably Italy. We went for 2 weeks and it was the best.
Did you go like countryside route or did you go like historic
We did
route?
Rome for a week and we did Florence for a week.
Love that.
And then we took trips up into Tuscany and stuff. So 10 out of 10 vacation.
Oh, God, yeah.
I would go back so fast.
Yeah. It's tempting every time I get that little advertisement come up where, you can buy a house in Italy for $1 and you just have to renovate it over the next 5 years. I'm like, it's the Homestead Act. I got it.
I can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah, probably that. The other one that is we went to St. John in the Caribbean as like a big family reunion situation, and that was awesome. It's like the hiking and the beach is awesome. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Love that.
Okay, since we nixed country.
Yeah.
What this is?
If it's even worse.
No, it's interesting. What do you complain about more than anything else?
People. No hesitation on that. That's people.
Insurance.
That's what people complain to me about.
People solid. I was thinking like traffic, like other drivers.
That's fair. Yeah.
Learn to drive, people.
Not when you're this close to Iowa.
Ooh.
I'll take the shot all day. I'll take that shot all day. They talk smack about our beef and our corn. I'll take the shot at the drivers.
We can all get along.
Yeah, we're all friends. It's all good fun. We're all just ribbing each other.
We all know.
Yeah, because I think it was a guest of the show, Todd Studer. He is Lost Hills Media.
Oh, okay.
So he's over in Iowa, and he's kind of mimicking radio with the podcast format, which is really smart, and it's really cool.
That's awesome.
He was on the show, and him and I kind of had a little rib off, so to speak, there. So it's all in good fun, I promise. Now, we got to keep things moving because I can't keep you here all day, unfortunately. And I was like, I think I'm cutting you close on time now.
No, we're good.
But I love asking this question because, especially since you're not from Omaha, I'm going to get some probably better answers than I normally do. What do you consider your Mount Rushmore of Omaha? Now, we had a little fun back and forth off the air about this. My brain didn't want to work today and said, there's 5 faces on Mount Rushmore. And she goes, there's 4. And I was like, I think you're right. So
let's quick pull it up on the Google.
One quick Google machine later, and the internet's told me what I was wrong about.
And I was right. Just going to put that as an accomplishment for the year.
100%
I knew how many presidents are on the rocks. Okay, so this was tough. I pulled a lot of The Office, too, because I just think this is great. Just to figure this out. I went a lot of food. I did a lot of food.
Fine.
Okay, Cleo.
Okay.
10 out of 10. Love Cleo restaurant downtown.
What do I get if I go to Cleo?
Everything. Get everything. I have not had one bad thing there. And it's all like shareable plates, so you can get everything.
I like that.
I would recommend that.
I like that.
Alice.
I don't think I've had Alice. What's Alice?
So Alice is a speakeasy vibe bar.
Okay.
Out west, underneath Legacy Chop House.
Okay.
Where like jams used to be, all
Yeah,
that good stuff. Had a lot of fun nights there. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Okay.
Let's see. I would say, Tiny House. It's a great bar downtown.
Okay.
Very fun. And Cottonwood. Let's go Midtown. Cottonwood
Another
Hotel.
bar? Oh,
no,
the Cottonwood Hotel. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just like, the hotel, or is there a bar?
It's so gorgeous. There's restaurants and the
true.
bar and the pool is just like dreamy. So
Cottonwood's a very beautiful place.
yeah.
Congratulations, because you are one of the very few episodes on the show that didn't go, the zoo.
Oh, no, I refuse to do it because everybody knows we've got the
I
best.
know, but
so,
I always love teasing people about it. I'm like, it's the number one answer on the show. And then they go,
refuse.
well, the College World Series. I'm like, that's the number two answer.
no, I wouldn't do any of those. I love them, but no.
That's great. I'm happy because that's some great local restaurants and hotels.
Now you know what you're doing this weekend. You're welcome.
Right. You're darn right I know. I love it. So my last question here for you, and this one's a little bit this is kind of a pick your own favorite kind of question. What's something here in Omaha that you wish, and of course the surrounding touching communities, that you wish more people knew about or supported more?
This is a great question that I don't know about. There's a ton of local restaurants. There's a ton of local coffee shops. Just supporting local in general is fantastic. I don't know. We have a lot of really cool neighborhoods. Anything from Benson to Dundee, even like downtown Elkhorn. Like there's just so many cool little downtown pockets that are just fun to explore. So I'm going to lean on that as my answer.
I think that's a solid
I don't know what
answer.
else to say.
I think that's a solid answer.
I think
Come
so,
check
too.
out the old school part of Omaha a little bit, because I think
Yeah.
some of that kind of gets lost in some of the new and shiny out on the corners,
Yep.
so to speak.
Yep.
So come into the center of Omaha and come
Yeah.
experience some of the vintage
Yeah.
Omaha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff in there.
There is, and especially if you're going downtown, there's plenty
That
to
too.
go look at, go shop, go eat.
Yes.
Plenty of places to eat. We're no strangers
good.
to food in
We're
Omaha.
good there. Yeah.
You know, us Nebraskans, we love our food.
Amen.
Well, Emily, that is all the time that I had for you today. Well,
Fantastic.
I have plenty of time, but that's all the questions I had for you.
Great.
Of course, we have had the distinct pleasure to sit down with Emily Moser, Director of Corporate Giving at the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Omaha.
That's
Emily,
me.
thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
I'm glad you had some fun. I was having a blast as well today.
Good.
So, of course, thank you again for coming on to the show.
Yeah.
And viewers, thank you for tuning in. Of course, be a friend, tell a friend, share this episode out. You just don't know who it might reach, and they just might need it. So, be that friend and share this one out now. And, of course, there's always more next time. Keep your ears tuned right here to the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast.